Welcome everyone to the CUG Kolkata webinar on the Architectic Sitecore Solution Vision to Reality. We have Surendra Sharma with us. He is Sitecore MVP, and he will present us his insight and valuable knowledge regarding the Sitecore Solution Architect. Surendra, over to you.
Thank you. I'm sharing my screen. Do let me know once you are able to see it.
Yes, sure. We can see your screen.
All right, I think we can start. So welcome everybody to this webinar. Today we are going to see something more on the architecting Sitecore side. So this session is going to cover the architecting Sitecore solution from vision to reality. Before starting anything, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Surendra Sharma. I am Associate Director in Nagaro. I have over 17 years of experience on Microsoft technology and overall 11 plus years on Sitecore. I have delivered more than 15 projects on Sitecore. I am Sitecore MVP as well as Sitecore certified. Um, I am Sitecore certified as well. And apart from that, I am running one blog website where I have published more than 200 blog articles. I'm author of 8 ebooks on Sitecore, and I have also developed 5 reusable modules available on Sitecore Marketplace. So that's pretty much about myself. All right. So when we start our career after our college, so generally we start it as a trainee where we are taking a training on lots of different technology, and then once our training is over, we are good in that. Then we are getting the title of software engineer, where generally on Sitecore project, maybe you have to they will give you some module where you have to develop a maybe a view rendering kind of stuff, or a small thing that people or your managers are going to assign you. Then you become a senior software engineer. Maybe you can write your code here. Maybe controller rendering kind of things you can write. Then you have the technical lead, where you are managing the entire end-to-end modules. You are going to integrate all the work that have this SE and SSE have worked. And then we have the technical architect and the solution architect. So what these two guys are doing here, and how they are exactly contributing it into the Sitecore project. So that's what we have to learn. And apart from that, we have the enterprise architect and chief architect. So that is something different. But our main focusing area is these two things: the technical architect and the solution architect. So how they are contributing it into our project. So the main job of the architect is to take the requirement from the client side and convert it into a technical language so that our development team can understand it. And similarly, whatever the queries, whatever the question development team have, this technical architect generally convert it into a business language so that client team, their stakeholders can understand it. So the architect is playing a very big role here, and it acts as a bridge between your client and the development team so that both parties can convey their messages to each other, and then we can we can write the successful stories for this project. Now, if we want to understand the architect role, then we have to see the different stages of the software development life cycle and how architect is contributing it in each phase here. So we'll start with the client requirement. On the client requirement side, generally uh, client already have, maybe they have already have one website which is already running, but it's a legacy, it's a old code base, that technology is outdated, so he want to move this website or this project into something new technology. Maybe he want to do some enhancement. Maybe there are some migration activity where he want to upgrade from the lower version to some higher version. Sometimes our marketing team can also connect to the client, and they can give the feedback that, hey, your current website is actually very old, it looks very poor, so maybe we can help you here. We have good resources who can rebrand your website. Sometimes one client is asking to another client as well that, hey, your website looks good, from where you have developed, what exactly you have done. So maybe one client can give you the reference of the development team of our company to another client. So in that case as well, sometimes we got the projects here. So generally all these activities start from the client requirement. So client has some requirement, and then uh, what this client is doing, he is creating an RFP. This is called request for proposal. So within this RFP, generally um, within this RFP, they are publishing this document. Within this document, they are covering the information about the client company, that uh, where is this client company, how old is this, where are the different offices it have in the worldwide. Similarly, this document also cover what kind of work client is doing, and it gives you the detailed information about their overall business. So within this RFP, they are covering the scope of work, that what exactly as a development team or as a technical team we have to do. So what is the scope here? Then he will list it down the desired feature, that what he need it into the new project or into the new technology. So maybe he can say that I want to a new system can support the 5 GB of images, or maybe he want it should be support the videos, it should support the workflow. So those kind of technical specification it's providing, and it's also providing that at the end of this project, what he wanted it from the development team. Maybe he want the entire code, he want the entire documents. So he will specify these documents here. Within this RFP, as an architect, what we have to check? We have to check how client is going to process the proposals here. So let's suppose again this RFP, there are 10 proposals. So out of those 10 proposals, how client is choosing a final proposal. So how he is going to weightage this individual RFP. So just check how much he is giving the weightage to the technical solution, and what percentage he is giving it to the commercial the commercial side. So generally on the technical side, they are giving the weightage of 70%. So your technical solution must be good enough. Similarly, on the commercial side, they are giving the 30% weightage. So if one client is giving a very high um, high estimations and the high price of their project delivery, and another company is giving the less, so of course client is going to choose the less one. Uh, yes, of course the technical solution is also playing a key role here. So just check these two things, that where the client is giving the more weightage. So on this RFP side, as an architect, we can't do anything, because this is mostly delivered or creating and handled by the client and his team here. But on this proposal side, so from here as an architect, our job is started. So against this RFP, we have to submit the proposal. So what exactly we have to, now within this proposal, we have to create one document. What kind of document we have to create, and what we need to specify? We need to specify that what our company is doing, what's our business, what the in scope and out scope of this proposal. So from the client RFP, you have to go through that RFP, you have to understand everything, and then you have to specify that what you are going to cover and what you are not going to cover. So you have to specify the out scope as well. Similarly, there are some integrations or there are some assumptions that you need to take care, so that you can provide this in scope. Similarly, you have some dependency. For example, if you have to integrate it with the payment gateway, so you want those payment gateway details from the client side. So there is a dependency on client for this integration. So specify your dependency. What are those dependency you have? Similarly, uh, we have to specify this technical solution. As an architect, now our work start from here, that what the technical solution overall you are going to propose, what are the product you are going to include while delivering this technical solution. You have to create a solution architecture diagram here, and you have to also specify the what are the different external system through which you are going to integrate this system, the new system that you are going to design. Maybe you want to integrate it with payment gateway, you want to integrate it with maybe or external dam system, maybe you want to integrate it with in-house API gateway. So there are n number of integration that you can specify that are actually that are actually explained it into the RFP. Apart from that, as an architect, we have to also provide the estimation that how much is the estimations, or in what time frame you are going to deliver this project. So this estimation is important for the client. So if your client want it in 4 months and you are going to deliver this project in 1 year, so that is not going to work here. So we have to also check what time frame client has specified here. And of course the commercial part, that overall how much is the cost is going to be paid by the client to your company for this project. So this red one, yeah, these are the most important for us. Now, while providing the technical solution, you have to let's suppose you want to provide the any technical solution in the CMS side. So on the CMS side, now there are hundreds of CMS available in the market. Which CMS you are going to choose? So you have to provide that comparison here. For example, on the .NET side itself, we have the Umbraco, Kentigo, Sitefinity, EP Server. So new name of EP Server is Optimizely. Then we have the Sitecore. So we must know what are their features of each CMS that we have. For example, Umbraco is free of cost. So you see here on the cost side, it's at the bottom side. So it's open source, free of cost. And Sitecore is at the top. So it means Sitecore is very premier product. So its costing is very high. But at the same time, if you see, the number of features providing by the Sitecore is very high as compared to the other CMS. So you have to choose your CMS based on the requirement of your client. So while choosing it, sometimes what you can do the comparisons here with one CMS with the another. For example, you must have the checklist for comparison list of the Sitecore versus Drupal. You can have the comparison for Sitecore XP versus Sitecore XM, or Sitecore versus EP Server. So you must have a kind of document. For example, let me go there and show you a sample document here, which can be helpful for you in your upcoming project. For example, we have the Sitecore XP, Sitecore XM. So just list down the features and check what out of this XP or XM, what they can cover and what they can't not cover. If it's something is not covered, then just highlight it that Sitecore XM, it don't support the personalization as such. Marketing automation also not supported by it. Email marketing, no. Analytics activity also, it don't support. Similarly, for example, you have the Sitecore versus Drupal. So list down the different features that they can support or not, and it will help you to identify that which CMS you should need to be choose. So there is a very good website, so you can go there and you can check what are the different CMS. You can compare it very easily. Similarly, let's suppose you want to choose the Sitecore. So within the Sitecore ecosystem, there are n number of products. For example, on the PaaS platform, you can have the XM, you have the XP, you have the Experience Commerce. So this is outdated now, so don't consider it. And on the SaaS platform, you have multiple products. So if you want to work with the content side, so you have the DAM, you have the XM Cloud, you have the Content Hub. Similarly, on the engagement cloud, you have the personalization, you have the Musen, you have the CDP. On the commerce side, you have the discovery, where you can search your product, and you have the order cloud. So you have multiple products. So you must know what's the domain of client, and according to that domain, according to your client need, you have to choose the product here. So let's suppose you want to choose this content management. So on the content management itself, now there are multiple ways to deliver the product. For example, you have the XP or you can have the XM. So you can deliver your project by using this XM and XP by using the MVC. So it means you have to write your code into the C#. Similarly, you can have the Sitecore SXA. So where you can create, if you have a very short span of time, and if you don't want to write much code, you want everything drag and drop, so you can go for the Sitecore SXA. So this product is also available. And if you want to completely go to the headless side, so you can use the Sitecore JSS. So it support the multiple JavaScript framework, for example, Next.js, React, Angular, Vue.js. So you can use those front-end framework, and then you can deliver your website by using this product. So you can see here we have the multiple product, and now it's up to us what exactly we are suggesting it to our client. So Sitecore Commerce is also there, but as I said, it's outdated, so we don't need to consider it. So while providing this, while creating this proposal, you have to also create the architecture diagram. So you must know how to create this architecture diagram, and for that, we need the past experience where we have worked on it. You must have the good understanding of the architecture, that if you are creating any architecture diagram, then you must know I have to create a U8, I have to create a production maybe, and I have to create a maybe disaster recovery environment. So just specify what exactly, how the overall architecture is going to be play here. And to create this kind of diagram, there are multiple ways. So you can use draw.io, you can use the Microsoft Visio, which is very costly, Miro, and eraser.io, Exceldraw, Convey. All these uh, are free of cost for a few days, or you can access them as a free of cost but with the limited features. So if you take the paid membership, then of course you will get the full-fledged advantage here. So try to practice on one of the online tool that you like, or which your company providing, and then you can create this kind of architecture diagram for your proposal. So as I said, we have to work on the scope, we have to work on the assumption, technical solution, estimation, commercial. So for this, you have to note down all these things, and you have to create one document here. So this document can be something like this. For example, I can go there, and if I open it, so you have to specify your in scope. So specify, list down your all the in scope things, you're out of scope, what exactly you are not supporting it, the assumptions that you have considered here, and the product that you have choose, why you are choosing that product. So list down those features here, and how you are going to deliver this project. So how many phases? For example, in phase one, you can create your entire website, and you can put the content, you can do the content migration there. And in phase two, maybe you can implement the analytics and personalization and the advanced feature. So you can specify these phases here as well. You should provide the solution architecture diagram here, and you have to explain this architecture diagram with few points here, that what exactly this architecture is, how exactly it's going to cover, which Sitecore features you are going to put it here according to the RFP, and the external systems that you are considering for integrating with this overall product that you are going to provide it. So we have to create this kind of architecture of this document to create this proposal. So once our proposal is created, so we have to submit it to the client, and now we have to present this proposal to our client if he selected our proposal. So for this, generally your sales and marketing team, and maybe as an architect, you have to help there in the presentation side. So the rest of the things, that what your company is doing, the past experiences with the or the past project that your company have delivered. So these things can be covered by your sales and marketing team, because it's their daily job. For the technical solution, here they can take the help of the architect, that now how this technical solution is going to work. So you have to now explain it. Again, estimation and costing can be taken care by your sales and marketing team. So on the presentation to client, we don't need to do much from the architect side. Then let's suppose your presentation, your client like it in a very good way, and he want to give this project to you, and then SOW is going to be signed. So once SOW is signed, uh, then the exact requirement phase will start, and here uh, a BA come into the picture. So what BA will do? It will meet with the different business stakeholders and try to collect all their pain points, their exact requirement, and he note down all these requirement and the other details. And at the end, the output of this phase is that he's going to create a BRD, business requirement document. So based on this business requirement document, Now architect job is going to be started here. So what architect is going to do? He will evaluate their existing solution of the client. Okay. So for example, client already have their website, it's already running. So he's going to check that what exactly he can reuse it from this existing solution, and where exactly is hosted, how much is the traffic that we are getting it here, how is the current infrastructure that that client is using. So he collect all these points, and then he will create a technical design document for us. Okay? He's going to create a technical design document for us, and architect will also specify that what his role is going to be there on this project. So it's also depend on the company size. For example, if it's a very big organization where they have their own process, their own standard, then it will be very systematic. But let's suppose if your organization is a startup, so you can't follow this number of process, because there are no process, there are very less time that you will get it for this delivering time. So you have to immediately start your work. Whereas in the big organization, enterprise organization, you have to follow all their rules and their procedures for implementing the things. So within this architecting side, as an architect, we have to select the product, or we have to select a particular technology. So what are the different points through which you can select any product or any technology? So for this, first check the fitness for objective. It means whatever the client have listed down their feature, is it, can our product is trying to meet all these features as 100% or not. So for this, you can list down all these feature and categorize it into three category. For example, in low, medium, and high, that if particular feature is there, is it supported by our recommended product as a low, medium, or high? So the more the high, it means our recommended product is good. Then we have to also check how it's easy for the non-technical users. How much is the market share of the product that we are recommending? How much is the overall cost? How much is the community size? Because let's suppose if you are getting any problem into the product, so first of all you will Google it, or you will go to the community. So check the size of the community. The more the community size, it means better, faster you will get it, your response for those problems. Also check how much is the performance of this product, for mostly for the multi users. And also check what are the different dependencies to install this product in our system or on the production environment. Also you need to check what are the different plugins and documentations are available, what kind of security is providing, and of course the licensing part, that what are the different type of licenses that this product is uh, offering to us. So based on this point, you can choose your technology, or you can choose the product that you are recommending to your client. In every project, generally in web application, you have to also specify, or you have to also deliver the search solution, which is the heart of any new website. So check what are the different search options that are available to us. For example, in Sitecore side, till Sitecore 9, we are using Lucene, but now it's outdated. We have the Solar, which is out of the box that we are getting it here, and which is free of cost. We have the Azure search, which is supported till 10.2, but after that, Sitecore have Sitecore has stopped to use it. Now we cannot use the Azure search. Similarly, we have Covio, which have the AI capability, but it's a very highly costly product, so we cannot use it with our solution. We have the GraphQL, which is giving you the JSON output. We have the Elasticsearch, which is again open source, but at the same time, now if we use it, then it will increase our time frame, because everything now we have to do it on a custom basis. Then we have the Sitecore Search, a product which is offering by the Sitecore itself, which is a SaaS product tool. And we have the Search Text, which is again Solar as a service, so we can use it. So we have the multiple search product. Now we have to choose it wisely for this new project that we have to deliver it for our client. Similarly, there may be a requirement of the content migration. So how will you do the migration here? So again, there are multiple ways. So maybe you can do the migration through the creating the Sitecore packages. You can use the Express migration tools here. Maybe you can write PowerShell script, or maybe you can write your custom code. You can do this serialization. So there are multiple ways here. So you have to think on it, which is the most easy and convenient way according to the current client infrastructure, the current client solution, and the new solution that you have to deliver. Similarly, there may be an external system that you need to integrate. Now you have to identify those external system, and you have to also check that where are those external system. Are those external systems are running inside the same organization? If it's in the same organization, then yes, our work is very easy. We can easily get their access. But if it's the another system is in some another organization, then again some security and handshake principles need to be specified. There may be another system which is hiding behind some gateway. So again, we need to put some extra efforts here. Maybe you want to refer any database or data store that is running maybe on Azure or on some external system. So again, we need to check how is the security there and how we can access it, and who are the users, who are the external users specifically, who are going to operate this new product that we are going to deliver it. And we have to also check how we can do the integration. Can we do the integration either through the orchestration or through the choreography? So these points need to be considered while integrating the external systems here. So there are few integrations for that. Sitecore already providing the pre-built connectors are available for it, so we don't need to do anything. For example, if you want to integrate it with the Salesforce, so there is already a connector is available from the Sitecore side. We can reuse it as it is, and we don't need to develop it from our side. For example, you want to integrate it with the Microsoft Dynamics. So again, connector is there for the CoView, for the Brightco. So connectors are available. So before designing or before customizing it or before developing it right from scratch from our own, so just check, is there any predefined connectors available for integrating the external system? If none of these options are available, then yes, we can integrate it via the APIs. So we can use the Sitecore API and that product API, and then we can easily integrate it. Similarly, with every release, Sitecore lists down the deprecations that what they are stop supporting it right now. For example, MongoDB is one of the product that Sitecore is not supporting. The Microsoft Azure Search is also there, which Sitecore is not supporting. So just check what exactly Sitecore not supporting. With every release, they are list down this product. So we need to remember those things as well. We need to also check what are the licensing model offering by the Sitecore. So Sitecore offer two type of licensing model. One is the perpetual model, and another is the consumption model. Perpetual model means on how many servers you are going to run the Sitecore. So in your production, if there are 4 CDs, okay, and let's suppose there are 1 CM, so it means I want to run my Sitecore on the 5 servers here. Okay, so you have to specify how many production server and how many non-production server here into this perpetual model. The consumption model is different. You can run it on n number of servers or n number of CDs. It just specify that, okay, on the annual basis, maybe there are maybe 50 lakh people who can, or visitors who can land on this website. So it's depend on the visitors numbers or the consumption. How is the consumption? It don't care about that in how many servers you are running the Sitecore. Okay, so consumption means the traffic, and perpetual means on how many servers, the production server and non-production server, you are going to run the Sitecore. So based on this, a licensing cost is going to be identified. Then on the development side, so once architect is creating and collecting all these requirements, he will create this technical design document. And based on this technical design document, based on this BARD that is created by BA, a development cycle is going to be started. So on this development cycle, the first thing that every developer is or that team is doing, that they have to set up their individual machine. Now, how to set up the Sitecore? So there are lots of prerequisite softwares and the product that we need to be installed. So team must aware about it. Um, the there may be chances that some new peoples are working on in your team who don't know anything about the Sitecores or who don't know how to install it. So for that, either you can create a document or you can create a video so that they can follow it and then they can set up their machine, because installing a Sitecore on fresh machine, it itself take 3 to 4 hours for the experienced developer. If he's a new, then maybe it will take more actually. So your team must know how to install and set up the Sitecore. So create the relevant document and maybe you can record the video, will be more helpful for them. Otherwise, they will directly connect to architect and it will waste their and architect time. Similarly, in the development, once development cycle is started, you must create that what exactly the repository that they are going to use, how much is the what's the branching strategy that your team is following. For example, you can have your master branch. Through the master branch, you can cut one branch and create a develop branch, and through this develop branch in every sprint, each developer will create their own feature branch. Maybe they are going to create feature one, or maybe news module, or maybe they are creating header or footer. So they will create a different they will cut a different feature branch here, and then they are going to merge it into the develop branch, and then this development branch is going to be merge it with the release branch. Once your sprint is done, then this release branch is going to merge it again with the master. So create your strategy, create what kind of branching naming convention that you are providing. Otherwise, every developer will create their own branching name strategy, which is going to be confused later on this stage. So as an architect, we have to specify that which code repository we are using and what branching strategy we are going to use it. Apart from this, we have once your developer started working on that, then they have to they have to set up the Visual Studio solution. So for that, they must follow the Helix guideline. So according to the Helix guidelines, they have to create one solution structure here, and within this solution, they have to create the 3 layers within their project. So here we have the project layer, we have the feature layer, and then we have the foundation layer here as well. So on the project layer, you can keep your layout, you can keep your CSS, JavaScripts. So those things you need to keep it into the project. In the feature layer, whatever the visual component that you want to show on your website, that component you need to be developed here. And in foundation layer, you need to keep your all the reusable code, all the authentication related code. If you are calling some third-party API, so those things can be go inside this foundation layer. So you have to divide your whole Visual Studio solution into these 3 layers here. So team must know about it. As an architect, we have to educate them. Now, once your development is done, after every sprint, your QA will test. So on the QA side, as an architect, we don't need to do much. We don't need to contribute anything here, because QA team will do their unit testing. They will check the integration testing. Maybe on the performance side, they may need as a architect help to identify that what are the different NFR are there that are specified by the client, and how we have meet it, how much is the if they are going to do the load testing. So on the load testing side, they will take those inputs and then share their result with the architect. So to meet the NFR, then yes, a QA team will be come into the picture. So as an architect, we don't need to do much here. Most of this stuff will be done by the QA team itself. Then we have the deployment. On the deployment side, again, architect role come into the picture. So on the deployment side, as architect, we have to specify that what are the different environments that we have to set up. So maybe we need to create a development environment, QA environment, UAT, staging, production, disaster recovery. So all is according to the client need and their budget. For example, if your client don't have any budget, so what they can do, they can combine this dev and QA as a one. Maybe the U8 and staging can also be combined as a one. So if your client have a good budget, then yeah, create the individual environment. If they don't have any budget, then you can combine it as well. So we have to set up this environment. Now where we have to set up it? So Sitecore can run on the multiple platform. For example, you can install Sitecore on the on-premises server, on the client premises itself. Maybe you can go as an infrastructure as a service. You can go to the Rackspace, or maybe you can go to the Azure. You can purchase their VMs, and then you can set up it from everything from your own. We have the platform as a service, so you can go on the Azure side and you can use the Sitecore Marketplace template, and then you can install Sitecore here, which is just piece of cake for us. And Sitecore is now also available as a software as a service, as a SaaS platform by using the XM Cloud. So where your client want it, there may be sometimes, let's suppose you want to go as a software as a service, but let's suppose your client is a government organization and they don't want to publish their data onto outside of their country, and within that country as you don't have any services. So at that time it may be uh, it's not feasible or it's not possible to go for the SaaS, because that particular Azure service is not available in the client country. So we have to check those things as well, and depend on that we have to take the decision that on which kind of hosting environment we need to be choose. Then once you choose the hosting environment, once you ready it, then we have to deploy it. So what we have to deploy? So on the environment side, for example, on this environment side, we have to check what exactly we need it. Do we need VMs, or do we need the app services, or do we need the internet information services? Do we need solar services, database services? For that, we may need to do the custom configuration. So according to that, we have to do the environment configuration. For example, entry into the host files or changes into the machine.config. So we have to do this environment configuration here. Then we have to deploy the files. So those files can be a configuration file. Those can be a patch files. Those can be your MVC files, or the headless file that you have created, your CSS and JavaScript. So those are the files that we need to be deploy there. Similarly, on the item side, we need to deploy our template items or the rendering items. On the content side, maybe we need to deploy our content item, media library item. So we have to deploy this thing so that our all the files that we need it to run this website is available on those hosting environment. Then once your environment is there, once you identify all those files that we need to be deployed, then we have to specify what's our launching strategy. Do we need to go with the blue-green deployment, or is there any other kind of deployment that our client is following? So for this, we can use the different type of tools. For example, you can use the Azure DevOps, or you can use the Octopus for the deployment purpose. So specify what's the launching strategy that we are going to follow it. So for example, this is the complete end-to-end auto CI/CD pipeline. For example, this is the developer who have the Visual Studio and the Sitecore and the serialization. Then whenever he is working on this, the code from his machine will go to the Git, and once it is available on the Git, then you can trigger the build pipeline. So it will build it, and then you can use some other tools, for example Jenkins. So this build will give you the release, so you can deploy this release from this Jenkins by using this Octopus to the one of the environment, maybe on staging or production, wherever you want you can deploy it. So as architect, yeah, we have to give these inputs to DevOps team so that they can create this complete end-to-end environment for us. We have to also create the what kind of topology or the architecture that you are following it for running this website. For example, this is the headless topology. Here we have our visitors, which is going to request for our website. This request will go to the maybe a load balancer. Then this load balancer maybe where we have the Node.js SSR proxies, or maybe we have some web apps that are running on this Node.js where your next.js code or maybe React code is going to be deployed here, which is going to call behind the scene your Sitecore CD servers. So what kind of solutions you are providing? If it's a headless, yeah, you can provide this kind of, you can create this kind of topology. If it's not a headless, then you can follow the other topology that is provided by the Sitecore here. Okay. So apart from this, you can go for the maintenance. Once your deployment is done, once your project is live, then your project will go into the maintenance side. On the maintenance side, as an architect, we can work on the performance side to further tuning our the page speed, the overall performance of our website. So we can work on that side. So there are multiple things that we need to be check. We need to check how much is the cache that are provided in our the cache is going to be configured for our website. Are there any CDN that we are using it? Are there any logs or jobs that or the publishing queue that we are cleaning up from the time to time? So there are multiple things that we need to be checked for the performance side. You should also know the admin pages on the Sitecore side. For example, this is the statistics page that we need to be, we must know. So from this statistic page, we can check what are the different components are there. And then through this component, you can check how much time they are going to be rendered from the caching side. So you can check those details here from this statistics page. Similarly, there is a cache page that you can check, and then you can decide to whether you want any particular component to come or render from the caching, or it should become right from scratch. Uh, you can also use the site. You can do the, sometimes as an architect, we have to do the auditing and review of the other Sitecore projects. At that time, we must know how to audit it, how to review the another Sitecore project, what we need to be see. So for example, we have this, you can go for the system architecture of the another project. So here you have to check the overall hardware and software configuration of the servers. Then you can check the Sitecore architecture. It means you can check the content tree and the Sitecore best practices for the templates, for the media library. So just check those things. You can go to the Visual Studio and check whether there is any hardcode things are implemented or not, Helix solution and the guidelines and principles are followed or not. Check the site, do the analysis of the logs file, check how many uh, error logs are there. So for that, you can use a tool that's called Sitecore Log Analyzer. You can use this kind of tool, which will give you the good feedback. You should check the overall performance of the website, whether the security patches are applied or not on the operating system, on the servers, on the Sitecore. Check all the configurations that people have done it as a patches, and also check the analytics activity if you are using the Sitecore XP. So check all these things while you are doing the Sitecore auditing and the reviewing. Then as an architect, I mean, nowadays the technology is moving so fast that that there are, in every project we have to use multiple systems, we have to integrate multiple systems, and it's not possible for us to learn everything. In every 2 months some new technologies come there. For example, AI, ML are also there. So how to catch up all these things, uh, how to move our career as an architect here? So for that, you can use the 20-minute rule. What this 20-minute rule is that before starting anything in the morning, you should check you can choose one of them. For example, you want to watch any webinar which is released by the Sitecore or some other good technical guy. You may read any blog article, you may watch any YouTube video on the technical side. You can check your social media and check if anybody have provided or shared any technical solution or any technical architect there. check what are the different new products are available on the Sitecore and the in the Sitecore ecosystem. What are the new technology that other people are following it into the Sitecore community? So maybe in one day you have to also use it. Nowadays AI and ML are very popular. So check what are the different tools that you can use it as a AI ML. Anyway, we have to use these things in our project in future, and also work on your technical depth versus breadth. Now, what is this technical depth? So if you want to become an architect, then you have to work on this triangle, and then we have to work on the technical depth. Now, what is this technical depth? So this one, these things. So these are the things that you already know. For example, you know Sitecore, you know the MVC, you know the .NET, you know the C Sharp, you know the Sitecore XP, but these things are fine that you need. So in this product you have in-depth knowledge of that, so that's why it's called the technical depth. But there are other products, for example Sitecore search, for example Sitecore content hub dam, for example Sitecore content hub, for example maybe order cloud. So we know about these things, okay, but we don't know as well. So stuff you know, you don't know, okay. So on this one we have to work. If you want to become architect, then we have to work on this stuff. So this is called your technical breadth now. So we have to work on our technical breadth. Right now you see this space is very high, so we have to low down this space. How we can low it? So uh, we can take one product at a time. For example, let's suppose you want to focus on the Sitecore search, so just learn about the Sitecore search, how to integrate it, how to do it. So for that, create a one POC, try your uh, different try to cover different use cases here and try to work on this. So what it will help you, it will help you to learn the Sitecore search, and so that now once you learn it, then you can, the Sitecore search will go into this upside. So now you know about it, so then pick up the another product. So overall, so you see here this space is now very low. So if you want to work as an architect, so we have to work on this area as much as possible. So this is called the technical breadth. You have to gain as much as possible the technical breadth here. Stuff you know, you don't know. And the lowest part, this one, you don't know, and you don't care about it as such here, okay. Now there is a one good way to work on it, that's called the technological radar. Okay, this is called technological radar. Now this is divided into four sections. One is the this quadrant is the techniques. This is called the languages. This is the platform and tools. And there are four circles here: the adopt, trial, assess, and the hold. So this adopt, this circle denote that, for example, this platform, which platform, you know, I know XP as a platform, I know operating system as a platform. So those things that you know, those are already here, okay. For example, languages, I know, okay, I know VB.NET, I know maybe jQuery. So these things are already adopted by you as a language. You already adopted it. So those you already know, put those technology here, okay. The trial one means where you are creating the POC. For example, I want to learn Sitecore search. Okay, so put that here, that yeah, I want to learn Sitecore search. Maybe I want to know the agile as a technique, so put it here. Maybe you want to learn Python, so put that Python as a language on this quadrant. So those things that you are already trying it, put it here, okay. SS means those technology which is people are using and you little bit know about it, but you have not tried anything, so put those technologies here in this SS circle. And this on this hold one are those which you don't want or which you already know, but those are outdated. For example, .NET framework, or maybe ASP.NET framework, that is already outdated, so we don't need to work on that, we don't need to learn more about it because it's already outdated now. C, C++, those are not, we know about it, but we don't want to learn more about it. So you can keep it on the hold circle here. So create this kind of technological radar for the personal radar for you. So it will help helpful for you to know that what are the different languages, platform, tools you know, or your company know, or your practice know. So it will helpful for you to work on what are the other technology on which you have to work. Similarly, for example, Sitecore is providing the composable stack. So within this composable stack, there are multiple products. For example, we have this headless CMS is available here. We have the order cloud. Now we can work with this product here with this multiple JavaScript framework. For example, Next.js, .NET Core, Angular. So now we have to pick the technology or the languages or framework that we want to work. There are multiple hosting solution, Vercel and Azure, on which we have to host and we want to learn. So pick the things that you are more interested, where your project or your company demanding it for you. So learn those tools and techniques, so it will helpful for you to grow as an architect. Apart from that, you must have the checklist. For example, you must have the coding based practices checklist, so that you can do you can share it with your team and they can follow and they can write the code in the similar fashion. Otherwise, everybody will write it in their own way. You must have the code review checklist. As an architect, we have to do the code review as well. We have to review the site core as well, that whether the Sitecore best practices are following by the team or not, whether they are assigning the icons to every item or not, whether they are using the inheritance or not. So you must have this kind of checklist must be readily available, so that as an architect you can use it in every project. And apart from that, you have to also play a role of leader and the mentorship as well, because the rest of the team, the developers, they are looking towards you for any big decisions within the project on the technical side. And as you are the bridge between the client and between the development team, so everybody want to see yourself, your feedback are very valuable for them. So be the leader for them, try to be do the mentorship, try to become a mentor for them, try to grow them so that they can also go and grow in their career. Now, as a final advice, you need to start the architecting your things, and whether it's a right or wrong, it's a not a question, because everything is a trade-off. If I give you any new project, and if I ask you that, hey, you have to architect it, so what typically you will do, you will see what the other people are doing it right now. What's the current trend of? So current trend of is the headless. People are picking the next.js, they are picking the XM cloud. So you will also follow the same thing. You are not going to provide any solution which is running on the ASP.NET framework, because you already know that that is outdated. So what is the current, what other people are following right now? So you are following that trade. So whatever the trade is there, try to keep your solution on that line, so that you are providing the latest and the best of breed solutions to your client. And yeah, you should always try to always learn about the new things, always try to create a one POC, try to do everything as a new to it, and try to do some architecting things into those POCs and in your projects. So yeah, that's it from my side. If you have any question, if you have any queries, then we can discuss. Otherwise, we are good for today. Again, my name is Surendra Sharma. I'm Sitecore. I'm Sitecore MVP, as well as I am Associate Director. And you can reach out to me on this email ID and Twitter account. So thank you.
Thank you, Surendra, for the valuable insights and the detail. I believe there can be some question. I can see that Chandan raised his hand. So Chandan,
Yeah,
please
hi
go ahead.
Surendra, this is Chandan. So
Yeah,
Surendra,
Chandan.
I have a question regarding Sitecore. So
Mm-hmm.
whichever project I found in Sitecore, I am working in Sitecore for the last 10 years. What I found, so all the solution in the production, we have two CD servers and one CM server. So I
Mhm.
just want to know, is there any formula on basis of what which you calculate the number of CD servers or number of CM servers, or how you calculate the number of traffic? So the number of CD or CM, it's all upon the traffic, right? So is there any calculation or formula or
Yeah.
any way you find out?
Yes.
Yeah, so
There,
that's my.
yeah, there is a one way to identify it. So you can go here. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see that.
Not this one. KB. Where is KB? Yeah, this one. So you have to check what's the overall traffic on your on the client website. So you can go to your client. Let's suppose it's a new project. Now you don't know how much CM CD server you have to provide it. So ask him to share the analytical detail of their current website for last 1 year. So ask that analytical detail. If if they are not providing it, your analytic team can also get it from the Google Analytics very easily. So you have to check that what's the monthly overall traffic that you are getting it here. So for example, your client is getting 4 lakh. Okay, they are getting 4 lakh visits every month. So within that 4 month, add the 25% as a future traffic. So within the 4 lakh, if I add 25%, it will become 5 lakh. So just check where this 5 lakh will go and come into the picture here. So it will go into this one. So then you should check, all right, I need one one CM here. And you see this CD. So then you have to check your, I need 3 CD servers here. So depend on traffic, you have to start. And this is just the start. It may be possible that, again, depend on your website complexity and the kind of pages and the overall load that it have. So depend on that, it may be increased, but this is the starting point. From here we have to start. So somewhere you have to start. So this is the starting point and the reference. And you have to also check what kind of Sitecore product you are using. Are you using XM? Then use this one. If you are using the Sitecore XP, then it will increase actually. So then you can go there and just check what exactly this, how many CD servers that you need it. And then you will get this S2, S3. So for that, you have to refer the Azure calculator. So you have to go to this Azure calculator here, and then you can check what this S means. So S means it's a 32 GB storage, and on the production environment, it will support the 2 million requests on the monthly basis. So we have to check this one as well. There is a one good Azure calculator. I don't have right now, but yeah, just Google it and you will get it. Azure calculator. Yeah. So you can check what is this SI, what is this?
This one
And
I
whatever
have.
you are going to see here, you will get the hardware configuration of this individual app services.
So the next question is, so we can do that scaling based on the horizontal and vertical also. So should we go with this horizontal scaling, or we
No,
should go with vertical?
never go with the vertical scaling. So scaling should always be and it should be on the auto mode. So let system should define it, and it's always be on the horizontal basis. So auto mode, for example, in Azure auto scaling, it
Correct.
will, you have to specify the rules that, for example, let's suppose if my CPU consumption is 70%. So if it's a below 70%, keep the 2 CD server. If it's go above 70%, then add one extra CD to handle that extra traffic that we are getting it. So it should be on the auto mode, and you have to specify the rule. General rule is the CPU consumption.
Okay. So you mean to say we should always prefer horizontal scaling, right?
Yeah, horizontal, and in an auto mode. Let system should do it instead of
Yeah,
doing
I
manually.
got that point. Yeah, in Azure we
Yeah.
have that feature. That based on the
Yes,
percentage of CPU you utilize and it scales.
correct. Vertical scaling is, people are generally in Sitecore, in the web terminology, people are not following, because Vertical scaling, it means you have to go there and you have one server. Now let's suppose it's running on the 16 GB RAM, and now you have to do it, you have to go and do it on the 32 GB RAM. So it's a manual process, it's not an automated one. So vertical scaling is generally people on the web development or web server, they generally don't follow it, they go with the horizontal scalings.
Can you ping me the link on the chat so that
Which one?
this one, the same?
Yeah. It's for the 8.2, which is very old. We have to search it for the we have to search it for the 10 point maybe 4. Do we have that? Yeah. Or maybe 10.3 is available, I think. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I think.
And the next and the last question from my side, in the Sitecore XM cloud or the composable mode in the headways, what I found, so the Sitecore also doing more push in context with the front end to the Next.js or something. They are not pushing to the ASP.NET Core when it comes to the front end part.
Yeah, correct. So the thing here is that, where is the chat?
On the right side?
Can somebody ping me here? Yeah, this one. Sorry.
Yeah.
These two are not going there on my screen. How to remove this? No way. I will ping it later on. But or
Sure.
maybe you can take the screenshot of it or just Google it. You will find it.
Yeah.
Sitecore Managed Cloud 10.3. Okay. So the thing here is that, for example, right now, right now, think from the Microsoft perspective. At the end of the day, all these are money. Money matters a lot for every organization. No organization is working on the free of cost. Okay. So what Microsoft have done in the 2000 in year 2000. So Java is at the very boom. People are using Java a lot. So to compete with the Java, what Microsoft have done, they have introduced the .NET framework. So the idea here is that, so what Java said that it's a one language and many platform. Okay. Sitecore adopted the same idea. It just changed. It say that it's a many language. Okay. And one platform. That one platform was what? One platform is the Windows. So you can come into the Windows, use any languages, whether it's a C#, VB.NET, even Java, even J#. So you can use it and then you can develop your product here. Okay. So .NET was initially work in the same way. Okay. Till 2022, 23, it was in the same way. But now things are changed. The Java market is right now low and there are other players come into the picture. Now it's the problem with the .NET is that it's a .NET framework that we are talking right now, which is running only on Windows. Okay. And Microsoft already say that, hey, actually this 4.8, we are using 4.8. .NET framework 4.8 with the Sitecore 10.4. Okay. So Microsoft already announced that this is the last framework that we are releasing it. After that, there will be no future framework. Okay. There will be no future framework. It means all product that are running on the .NET product is also have their now end life. Okay. There is a long-term support, 3 to 4 year, maybe 2028 or till 2030. Yeah, this is going to be work. But after that, yeah, Microsoft will stop it. It means Microsoft is not going to release any new security patch. They are not going to provide any help on this .NET framework. So what the solution? So Microsoft already said that, okay, .NET framework is going to die, but we have the .NET Core available as well. Okay, where you can go there, and now this is the cross-platform technology. It means you can write your code. Now the tagline for the .NET is that many language, one platform. But now tagline for the .NET framework is the many language, and many platform. Okay, this is the tagline for this. So it means you can use any choice of your language, and once you write your code, it will work, it will run it on the multiple platform, whether it's a Windows or Linux or it's a Mac, you can run it anywhere. Okay, now the problem with the .NET Core is that for the web technology, people want more client side speed, they want the more client side processing. And what .NET Core is doing, it's doing the server side processing, it's a server side technology. Okay, because it's a server side technology, so people are not using it now. It's in a very good way. People and industries more looks toward the client or the client side framework or the JavaScript framework that are running on the client side. So because the trend is on the JavaScript framework, so people are providing more solution on this side. So that's why this Angular, this Next.js, React, these are more popular. Their performance is very high as compared to the .NET Core. If you choose the .NET Core, it's a, as I said, it's a server side technology, and at the same time, if you want to set up its entire environment, it's a costly. You have to you have to purchase the Visual Studio solution. You have to choose, you have to purchase it license. Whereas this JavaScript, Next.js, they are free of cost. You can just go there and start. You don't need any much heavy licensing cost is not there. Similarly, .NET Core, if you want to host on any server, then you have to choose the Windows, Linux. Again, it's a very heavy product, whereas these are very lightweight. So because of all these, all the company nowadays providing the web solution which are more centric to the headless rather than the go to the .NET Core side, which is again providing the headless, but because of the other factors, because of the costing and licensing side and the complexity, people are choosing more on this one.
It seems Sitecore license is almost already cost-based. Just to avoid the overload, they are more focusing on the content part next year, so just to avoid the costing part of them.
Yeah, costing and hosting as well, because
Yeah.
.NET Core, it means you have to choose the Windows hosting, whereas JavaScript, Java, you can use it on the Node, you can use the Linux, you can use the Vercel, whereas this
Yeah.
.NET Core is not going to work on the Vercel. So
Correct.
because of this one, yeah, people are choosing more on this JavaScript framework, but this is a trade-off. I mean, in old days, there is a server side, then it was on the client side, then with the .NET, it again go to the server side. With the JavaScript, it's again coming to the client side. Now, Microsoft also announces one another product that's called Blazor. So the benefit with the Blazor is that you can write your code into the C#, and once you write it, you compile it, it have the concept of WebAssembly. This C# code will be converted into equivalent JavaScript. Now whenever you are calling your page, your C# code which is converted into JavaScript is going to be render it on the browser. So the speed that you are getting it with the JavaScript framework and all these one, here also you'll get the same speed. But again, this is a new product, so Sitecore is not supporting it, but yeah, in future maybe they will provide any support for it as well. But Sitecore as a company, they are more focusing on the client side right now, on the headless solution. They have the special tie-up with the Vercel. So because of that, yeah, they are not moving to this direction as much. But yeah, overall, if you want, yeah, .NET Core is available as a choice of your headless language, but they are promoting more on the Next.js.
Thanks, Surendra. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other question? I think no. Yeah, I believe that's all. Surinder, thank you very much for the session, and thank you everyone for joining us. Just small information: we'll have our next session in coming Saturday, that is on 1st June at 5 p.m. IST. We will provide you all the detail in the group as well as in the LinkedIn. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks, Surendra.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sundar. Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you, team.
Bye.
Thank you, Surendra.